I was born with inverted testicles, and I had a micro penis and also a vagina hole from birth. Always compared myself to a Domino's pizza half and half. That's basically how I felt when I had both a penis and a vagina. Since getting the vagina closed, I just try and live as authentic as I can, as a guy, really. So most intersex people, they don't even let anybody know that they're intersex. They kind of just live in however they feel comfortable. For me, because I'm so out there and everybody knows about me being intersex and how I was born, so it's normally meant to be just cross for unidentified, but mine, I had F from when I was little, and that got changed when I was 11 to an M. It's about genitalia, really and truly, for me. I was born with inverted testicles, and I had a micro penis and also a vagina hole from birth. Always compared myself to a Domino's pizza half and half. That's basically how I felt when I had both a penis and a vagina. Since getting the vagina closed and since just having, both of my penises, I just feel like a man, and, I just try and live as authentic as I can, as a guy, really. So there was barely any information back when I was younger about intersex, or being the other term, which is obviously, as I always say, a more derogatory term, hermaphrodite. I always felt like, because I didn't know any different, that I was pretty much normal. Then obviously as I got older and when puberty hit, I then noticed there was a massive difference between me and other people. And other people pointed it out to me as well. So I've always kind of been like alienated in a way, but also really accepted. It's quite strange. I feel like my overall confidence in the way I'm born and, what my God-given equipment is, that I've just learned to rock it and just accept it. And because of my inner confidence, it's gotten me a lot of love out there, a lot of support. Loads of people love me. Because I was androgynous, my parents would allow people to just call me he, because that's what I looked like and that's how I identified even from back then. I suppose in certain family circle situations, social situations, that's when they would call me a girl, because, my outer family did not understand anything to do with intersex, due to religion and due to ignorance. Now they're way more understanding, to be fair. It all came down to me because of how I felt and the way I dealt with finding out about being intersex. And even before that, when I look at my baby pictures, I was not in like pink or dresses. I was able to wear whatever I wanted to wear and stuff like that. Like, my parents weren't forceful at all. And that's why I always say, I feel like they must have subconsciously known. Sometimes you know things about your kid, but you just can't put a name to it because, like I said, even though intersex people have been around for ages, including the angels and all sorts, they are all intersex, or, like I said, hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites being the Greek god as well. So, yeah, like, just more and more as we got to learn about it, and when we went to different places, met different other parents, not many, but, met other parents that have been through similar situations. They kind of just grew a bigger understanding on it, and it just became more easier over time, really. Unshakable confidence is a great way to be able to put it of what I have. I have an astounding amount of confidence and self-love for myself. If I could marry myself, I would, but I can't. If that becomes legal, though, I'm doing it. And I just feel like, I just don't really let anything get to me. Like, I'm 5'8", so I'm not the tallest. I'm not the most biggest. I've not got, like a, I don't know, big nose, prominent jaw or anything like that. I've got even up till now, a very androgynous look to me, and I just love it. My dad, he's the most known person around our area, and some of his friends would have completely forgotten that he had a daughter, and they'd just be like, oh my God, your son looks just like you and all this kind of stuff, and son, oh, you little boy, all this stuff. And my dad would just go with it because, sometimes I don't think he even realized what was going on, but I heard it and I was like, I'd roll with it as well. I'd be like, yeah, man, thank you, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was always dressed in boys' clothes. I didn't look like a girl, so I can't blame them. But yeah, I came across loads of different comments from my friends' parents and stuff like that all the time. You know, they would constantly, do you sit down or do you stand up to go toilet? Do you? I'm just like, listen, yo, relax. I'm a kid. Stop, like, you know, asking me all these questions, man. You're sexualizing me in a way as well, man. It's a bit creepy. I didn't feel uncomfortable at the time, but when I think about it now, I'm like, boy, you put up with way too much, man. You should have told them, get lost and mind your own business. Never have I ever felt a way about myself at all. I'm in love with myself, and I feel like I've got good reason to be as well. I'm unique. I'm an individual who knows exactly what they want. And, you know, I'm very open, and I will never stop being open until the day that I die. I was one of the best when it comes to sports in my school. I'm amazing at football. I'm amazing at basketball. I'm amazing at badminton, tennis, golf, whatever you name it, I can do it. And in terms of things like gymnastics, you know, I was doing cheerleading where I was a boy and I was lifting up the girls, dashing them in the air. People took it as how they took it. I had dreadlocks and then I chopped my dreadlocks off. Then I just had an afro. Then after the afro, I just shaved off all my hair, which everybody loved. I had like a little high top. Yeah, the girls loved it, you know. What can I say? I'm just a charmer. Year 5 with a very popular singer, Sierra. There was this rumor going around that she was a hermaphrodite. It turns out that I really don't think she is. I don't know where the rumor came from. But when it did come out, everybody immediately looked to me because this is what I'm trying to say. Even before I found out I was intersex, people already thought that I was a boy, girl. Like it was always he, she. Boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. Like, that's what people used to call me from even back then. And it's funny now that we've got the actual terminology to it. First of all, I was stupid enough to believe it without actually doing any proper research because I was a kid, I didn't care. But at the same time, yeah, I did kind of feel like maybe that's me because I didn't really understand the full, the full magnitude of what was being said.
Hi, welcome to Deep.
This channel goes a level deeper.
Deep is a brand new YouTube channel that is dedicated to the amazing experiences of incredible individuals.
We basically try and answer the questions that you always want the answer to, but you don't feel like you can ask.
Myself and the team are responsible for a lot of the factual content that you might have seen on YouTube, Minutes With, The Gap, Agree to Disagree, among others. And we set up this new studio and this new channel to go a level deeper.
We will be uploading a new video every single week.
There'll be a wide range of stories, so please hit the subscribe bell.
Please let us know in the comments if there's anything you want us to cover, any stories that you've been interested in, any questions you wanted to ask.
We hope you enjoy. Now back to our story.
All right, so a couple of stories really quick. I had a girl that I was dating. I was 16, she was 24. Call it what you like. And one of her male best friends took a shine to me. He's straight, you know, but he took a shine to me. I actually thought that them two were cheating. You know, them two were sleeping with each other and I was getting cheated on. But it turned out the guy liked me and tried it on with me. And I was young myself at this time as well. And I was like, whoa. But what can I say? Men and women both love me. Straight, lesbian, gay, bi, anything. I always would say that I'm bisexual. I mean, bisexual, man, people think I'm bisexual. I'm pansexual. So pansexual is when you just love anybody, really. It doesn't really matter about their gender, race, anything like that, you know. There's also sapiosexual, which I was back in 2018. Sapiosexual when you fall in love with the mind, because I was going through a phase when, you know, I was really spiritual and really falling in love with people's minds. It's got nothing to do with the way anyone looks at all. It's all about the mind. You fall in love with the way the person's thought processes, the relatability in their life and yours, all of that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful, beautiful sexuality to adopt. I have a Delilah energy. Delilah energy is basically when you possess this really feminine aura, which can kind of entice anyone, male or female anyway. And that got in the way of a lot of my friendships, including the one with my ex's best friend who took a shine to me. And they always didn't realize what it was, why they were so attracted to me. It's because I got a big booty, stuff like that. Like these guys were, you know, these guys, they'd be liking big booties and all that stuff. And because I got a nice, once again, I don't think I don't feel like I look like a guy. I feel like I look still like I could just be both. If I just shaved off the beard, wig, boom, hot girl. But like, you know, I feel like their guys would probably say that they're gay straight away because obviously I sound and look like a guy and all that kind of stuff. But back then when I had both, it could be argued against. I would say that they're just bisexual and they also are curious curiosity killed the cat. But in my case, curiosity had all these guys hooked and all these females hooked. Hypermasculinity has been dashed in the bin. If I want to act feminine and just, like how I am now, hoodie, tracksuit, suit, whatever, I'm going to do that. I can act feminine and as much as I like because I can adopt that personality because I have a right to. If I want to go and be silly and put on, a female friend's clothes and walk around and, it looks crazy because my muscles are bursting out at the top and I'm about to tear it. And, I could do that too. Like, I'm just so comfortable with how I am, I hope that makes other people within their skin, no matter what they're going through, feel the same way as well. Like, you've not got to be hypermasculine or adopt some toxic masculinity to be viewed as a macho man. This hyper male stuff needs to be thrown away somewhere because it just ain't working. I think some of the best people out there are people that can be very diverse, like Prince, like me. Yeah. Twenty-two, they dashed my vagina in the bin. And then obviously now I've just got the 2 penises. I had to leave the micro penis because you don't even want to know how good it feels. Leave the micro penis alone. Leave it alone because, in surgery, things can get damaged, nerves could get destroyed, sensation goes, you're leaving it alone, is what I said to the surgeon straight away. And it's amazing because then I've got the bigger one that's in front. So a lot of the time, I'm aroused by my own penis. It's so complicated and it's so complex. If you want me to, point it out for you and really go and divulge into that, I can. Yeah, I've OnlyFans. $20. In the late 60s, right round to the early 2000s, it was 2%. Since I came and did all of the work I've done on TV and social media, speaking out on intersex people, worldwide, it's now at 7%. So that's a dramatic 5% increase since I started talking about it. If you go and you go to a sexual health clinic, Intersex is there now. If you're at the doctor's, Intersex is there now. Housing, Intersex is there now. To be able to describe yourself just like you do with race and religion, Intersex is also now down on how you want to identify yourself. And it wasn't there before I started coming on TV talking about it. I'm just saying. The God's honest truth is, when you're born intersex, you're just used to yourself, yeah? And you don't want to complicate things anymore. A lot of people don't want to be ridiculed for something that they can't help. So they just prefer to just live stealth. I don't always think it's even about shame or anything. I think it's about privacy. With me, I'm an open book. So this is the reason why I'm breaking barriers left, right and center to make sure that people understand you can have an intersex child. You might not know straight away from the birth. And I want to be the person that people can look at as representation to that with how candidly I speak and how open and honest I am. I'm happy to be a spokesperson for life, 100%. There's so much that goes into it that people don't realize. I think even the mental aspect of it is so important because it can really, it could be the make or break to whether you want to be alive and, in living your truth, or whether you it's too much for you. You can't be here. And I've had dark days. I've had dark days where I'm just like, loads of people on a certain social media app will just be self-projecting. They hate the fact that I'm so confident. They hate the fact that I'm so sure of myself. So they will do anything they can to be able to belittle me in, me being my authentic self. I was with an agency. I was meant to be doing my book, which took a year, and it was Scars Made the Man. Very powerful book, and I didn't even complete that, and I left the agency due to the fact that I couldn't handle the pressure of the amount of scrutiny that people were giving me from fake profiles, trolls, online accounts. And I have so much support and so many people that love me, but when there's so much negativity and you don't know where it's coming from, who it's coming from, the reason why it is because people don't understand it. And it's down to a lot of, it's really down to religion, let's be real, a lot of the time for a lot of people. The way that they were raised, what they saw or have seen, their environment once again as well. If you go to Brighton, for example, you're more likely to be accepted as a gay man than if you go to Brixton. I've changed people's lives who are evangelists, who are Muslim, who are, Islam extremes, everything, you name it. I've changed their way of thinking about it. I explain it in a way of that hermaphrodites, intersex people have been about for centuries. And, you know, in certain countries, we are literally, we are worshipped. So yeah, westernized countries, not so much. It opens the minds to people who are hiding even the smallest minute thing about themselves because they are scared to be judged. You know, I dare to be judged and I do what I want. I say what I want, just like I said in my intro in my YouTube videos, and I will forever be that and do that. I will stand by myself as a overly confident, happy-go-lucky geezer, definitely. I'm the father, I'm the mummy daddy, yeah? You lot can call me mummy daddy, I don't care. My job was getting my daughter to this earth, and I had options and able to be able to do that. But let's be real, man. I wanted to have full control. So whatever, baby came from me, judge me if you will, but I wasn't giving a damn about anybody's opinions when I was having my kid. Not only that, but she came out perfectly. We almost died on the operating table, but nonetheless, she looks just like me. She's an amazing kid, and she's just like her daddy. Mommy, daddy, whatever the hell you want to call me. I don't care. Either way, I'm a great parent, and my daughter loves me more than anything in the world, and I love her more than life. I had preeclampsia and all that rubbish as well, so yeah, I lost teeth when I was carrying my child and stuff. Yeah, it was really difficult, you know. It's even difficult up to this day because since it all came out about, you know, the way I had my child, there'll be people like when Mother's Day comes, they'll be like, Happy Mother's Day, and I'm just like, because the thing is, you know, it's weird. I'm living as a man now, but I am still connected to my female side. Part of my female side would mean that I could either give birth to a child or I could give a woman my child to carry. You know, that I've done also in the past too. I donated all my eggs, so I've got kids out there. I've got my own child as well. You know, there are women right now that are looking to want to carry my kid because they just want a kid that looks like me. I'm an interesting person, so people can't take that away from me, no matter how I'm different with my life. You know, you might not understand it. You might not get it. You might think it's weird. You might think it's disgusting. I don't care. I don't care. Because essentially, when I'm older and I'm lonely and I ain't got no kids, but everybody else has got kids and I'm running around happy, no one's going to be there to support me when I'm there, you know, depressed because I've not got my own child for myself. So, yeah, I did it all for me and my kid. So I did IVF. I got free IVF because I donated a couple of cycles of my eggs. And yeah, I could carry a child straight away. It worked first time, basically. So you just get to choose, basically. You go into a room, you know, you click onto the computer. It has the face, it has the height, it has the origin, ethnicity, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm probably one of the first people in the UK. I've never heard of a story like mine before in my life. So as crazy as it is to everybody else, imagine how I feel. It kills me sometimes looking at my old pictures and stuff. I always think to myself, what would I have looked like if I'd just been a woman? I'm not being funny. I would have been so beautiful. Like, come on now. Like, this is what I'm saying. So, but it's not all about looks as well. Like, I just know I would have had like probably, I would have had a sugar daddy, I would have had a husband, and I would have had like about 17,000 men with loads of money running after me. And like this, it's kind of the opposite now. I'm the provider. I'm the one that likes to make the money and do the running after. When you embark on surgery, you pretty much sign that side away. There is no such thing as reversing phalloplasty surgery, unfortunately. So even if I wanted to do that, I couldn't. My voice would never go back to being even a tiny bit higher. My facial hair would still be there. I'd have to have electrosis on my face. The hair, like the whole body, everything's it's done. It's done. I'm a man forever. So even if people, you know, want to make jokes and say what they like, at the end of the day, I was brave enough to go through 200 hours plus worth of surgery to, you know, live like this, you know. So the facial hair and stuff, like I already had facial hair, but yeah, when you go on hormones, you can go on Sustanon, Libido. There's a magnitude of different hormone therapy, replacement therapy. You can go on, but yeah, I was on Sustanon to begin with, and that just that made my body more straight than more like curvaceous. And the facial hair I already had anyway. My voice was already pretty much deep, but it does thicken the facial hair. It does thicken the vocal cords and all that stuff. So that's what makes you, more like looking like an elder male than looking like a young boy, basically. So yeah, the hormones did help. With the surgery, like I always explain in all of my videos, all of my interviews, you do have quite a few stages. If you have complications, you have even more stages. I had a complication every single stage, which means that I had even more surgery, more hours added on than the average person who suffers with no complications, etc. And I also made sure that I didn't have a nurse or nothing after surgery. I'd basically leave the hospital and I'd look after myself. So yeah, I healed myself back to being able to function. I could have taken estrogen tablets instead. I could have had estrogen patches or gel or stuff like that. I could have had like breast augmentation surgery. I could have had a BBL, Brazilian butt lift. I could have had whatever I wanted, even though I don't really need a Brazilian butt lift because my butt's big enough as it is. Yeah, there's loads of things I could have done. I could have still had, like my facial hair lasered off as well, because I've always had a moustache. I could have just practiced making my voice more high and sounding a bit more feminine. And essentially I killed off the female side to me, especially when I went under the knife and had surgery. I do feel a lot of deep regret sometimes about that because I feel bad, not for myself, but for my family a lot of the time, because even though they're so proud of me and they're so loving and such a great family, I just sometimes feel like, I would have maybe lived a more better, fulfilled life as a female instead of living as a male and getting into some of the trouble that, guys can find themselves in more so, with the law, with, day-to-day things, the challenges that, most men have, the bravado, the ego, everything, yeah. When I was younger, I feel like I set the tone. I keep, not to blow my own horn all the time, but seriously, I set the tone to being intersex and what it means to be intersex. Nowadays, if someone was to come out and say that they're intersex, they would often say, oh, well, I've watched Roshaante Anderson and, he's like my hero and this is the reason why I can now come out and, say that I'm intersex and blah, 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 blah. However, they're still ridiculed and they're still scrutinized. I've never been ridiculed, scrutinized, anything like that until social media. A lot of the time, people they just bang on about what they believe and what they feel like you are and stuff like that. We just need to just, bring a lot of inclusivity back into the world and, understand that everyone is different in their own right. Just embrace it, understand it, get to know yourself, figure out who you are as a person, get down to the doctors, see if you could potentially be intersex. If you are and you've got any differences about yourself, head off to an endocrinologist. They'll be able to help you out and tell you what's going on, man. Get them x-rays done, get anything relevant that needs to be done to, so you're sure of yourself, you know what's going on. Just stay cool, man. Life is short. Just be easy. You know what I'm saying? Don't feed into anything too much if you are experiencing difference with yourself. If you feel like, you're more unique than others, or there might be something wrong with you. There ain't nothing wrong at all, man. Like I said before, everyone's different. Just live in your truth and be you and just do it positively and do it properly.